I'm going to call to order the Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners, March 3rd, 2026 regular business meeting. And we'll begin with item 1 is our invocation and reflection, and leading us in that will be Vice Chair. Go ahead. You're all right.
Please stand. Lord, we are meeting today to conduct the matters of public business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and respect for all. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion for everyone in Kalamazoo County. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, that brings us to item 3. Clerk, will you please call our roll?
Commissioner DeLue?
I'm here.
Commissioner Gisler?
Here.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler?
Here.
Commissioner Mazer? Commissioner Morales?
Present.
Commissioner Ray?
Present.
Chair Strebs?
Here.
Vice Chair Taylor?
Here.
Commissioner Wheeler? Here. 8 present.
Thank you. All right, we'll go to item 4 is proclamations. We have none. Item 5 into communications. So we're accepting a landing place change orders as of February 27th, 2026. That's item 2026-327. And item 2026-332, the 2025 SMPC annual report. 2026-370, which is a Wexford County Resolution number 2606 in support of repealing MCL 46.4152. Item 2026-336 is a household hazardous waste letters of support. 2026-351 opioid remediation 2025 grant report that we received from the Kalamazoo Community Foundation. Are there any other communications from the commissioners? Seeing none. Let's go to item number 6 is approval of our minutes. Entertain a motion.
Chair?
Yes, Vice Chair Pro Tem. Okay.
If I can reach it. Yeah. I move to accept the minutes as submitted.
Support.
Motion is made by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, supported by Commissioner Wheeler for the approval of the February 17th, 2026 Committee of the Whole and regular meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Right, that motion carries. Item 7 is for approval of the agenda. Commissioner Wheeler?
Thank you, Chair. I move that we amend the agenda to add to new business consideration of an emergency purchase and replacement of the fingerprinting machine located at the Gull Road Justice Complex.
Motion is made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, to amend the agenda for the new business item. Is there any further discussion? Administrator?
I apologize, Chair. I just noticed, I believe that machine is actually located at the juvenile home.
Yes.
So if that could just be corrected, but I believe that's it.
Thank you. Are we amenable to that revision, Commissioner Wheeler and Vice Chair Pro Tem?
I apologize. Okay, we confirmed it as Gull Road. My apologies.
Okay. Okay.
It's somewhere in the courthouse. You can walk there.
Good. All right. So no amendment needed to the amendment motion. All right. So now we need a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. No further discussion. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Now approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Good. Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler. Approval of the agenda as amended. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, let's go to item 8, presentations. So here, just wanted to make sure we had space in our earlier meeting. So we move this here. We have discussion on Judicial Resources Report, the JRR. It's a response from the Michigan Association of Counties. And we'll hear from Administrator Dr. Catlett. Administrator?
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate that, this opportunity to kind of go over the request from the Michigan Association of Counties. There's a judicial resources report that was prepared by, I would say commissioned by SCAO, the state court administrator's office, that sort of determines and recommends judicial additions, reductions, and structural alignments across the state of Michigan. In brief, they've recommended that judgeships increase by 2 in Kalamazoo County, so 1 for circuit court and the 8th district court respectively. And so what MAC wants to do is sort of champion some of these requests at the state level, as they serve as essentially a lobbying arm or entity for counties. And so they'd like to know if and whether the Kalamazoo County Commission agrees with the report. What this would do, in brief, is that it would not commit Kalamazoo County to anything at this time. They just want to know whether we agree with the report. So that way, when they begin lobbying legislators, they aren't doing so if to the to the contrary of the board's desire. So that's really the gist of it, whether Kalamazoo County agrees with the SCAO's recommended additions. Also understanding that judgeships are reimbursed. So there's a cost of the county, but then it's reimbursed. So essentially judgeships are 100% paid for by the state, but there are implications as far as staff that are allocated to judges. So they have judicial aides and those sorts of things, the facilities that would need to increase. And I also received communication from the prosecuting attorney that he asked me to share, that he indicated that if judgeships increase, then he would like to see an increase in his staff as well. And he could speak to the merits of that later, but he wanted me to share that on his behalf. So just kind of understanding, obviously, some of those long-term impacts related to court operations, personnel, and ancillary services. But that's the gist of this action, is to understand whether the board agrees with the report, and that way MAC can kind of do their work at the state level.
Thank you, Administrator. Vice Chair Pro Tem.
Thank you, Chair. Administrator, do we have an idea on the number of additional staff we would need for 2 more judges? I know we're already looking at what we can do for courtroom space, et cetera. So that's going to be capital improvements, but personnel folks, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just asking for a friend.
Yes, Chair, if I may, I mean, we do have the court administrators here, as well as Chief Judge Hemingway and Judge Morse. I would defer to them on what staff they would need, if any. I just don't have that information. So if one of them may come up and answer that question, please.
Yeah, please, I'd recognize. Thank you, Administrator Kuish will, thank you. Administrator Tatrow will also help us have a sense of the need. Thank you.
Your question regarding staff for circuit court, it would be 1 judicial aide, that's a K108, and 1 clerk, that's a K105. For the 1 judge.
And for district court, we employ a K108 judicial assistant and a K106 bench clerk, so 2.
So we're looking at basically 2 more personnel for 4 altogether, 4 total for
That's right.
the thing, plus the court space, et cetera. So, okay, thank you. We'll have to look at what the cost would be on that, I'm sure, and see what we can do on how we can fund that. And then obviously we'll have to work with our prosecutor if he's gonna need more. And I'm assuming probably defense will want some money here or some help too. So thank you.
Any other additional questions, Commissioner DeLu?
No questions. I just fully support. I mean, for now, you just want to see what Mac wants, and by what I read, it might take years for this to happen. And it should also be noted that they almost recommended 3 judges. It was 2.8, and the current judges are working at over 100% capacity. So I don't think there's any way we can deny this request.
Vice Chair.
I completely agree with Commissioner DeLu. It's MAC putting this out. Now, I think years is optimistic. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than that. But I think continuing the pressure and using MAC as an arm to do this, we're looking at roughly just those positions without the prosecutor support, about $400K a year annually. The actual judge cost is, as the administrator said, is reimbursed. But then the capital costs, a couple $1 million of capital costs to do this. I think it's going to take probably, my over under would be about 8 to 10 years. But it'll be more, they'll have lots, you have to be on this report for how long before we got it last time, before they gave us 1 additional judge. But I think continuing the lobbying effort to get there is prudent.
All right, and so I agree with those sentiments, and just for the board to be mindful, like long-term in planning, it may take us a long time, but as we're thinking through how we design future construction, et cetera, you got to be mindful for future growth that will definitely be needed because it's already needed now. All right. Nothing further from that. We'll move on to item 9 is public hearings. We have none. Item 10 is our first opportunity this evening for public comment. In our regular session, you can do that in person or by phone. Call 855-925-2801, enter meeting code 10748, and press *3 to join the queue. If you wish to speak during both public comment periods, you must press *3 again. Anytime after the first public comment period has ended, it's your first opportunity to address the board for up to 3 minutes in a professional and respectful manner on any topic. Once you're recognized, please share your name and where you're from. Do we have anybody wishing to make a public comment? Seeing none, Administrator, do we have anyone online? All right. Thank you. We will close that public comment period. We'll go to item number 11, our consent agenda.
Chair, if I may. Thank you.
Commissioner Wheeler.
I move that the consent agenda items be voted on at one time by a roll call vote and be considered a consent agenda by the board.
Motion is made by Commissioner Wheeler and supported by Vice Chair Taylor. Any further discussion? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler.
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. All right, we'll move next to item number 12, unfinished business and general orders. We have none.
Oh, we added it to
To
the
new
consent
business.
agenda.
We'll go to item 13, new business. And we'll take up our discussion on the fingerprinting equipment. Administrator Catlin?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I appreciate it. Vice Chair Pro Tem Commissioners, there is a request rather, for an emergency capital procurement for a new juvenile fingerprint reader replacement. This item was originally scheduled to be replaced on the 2027 CIP. However, it just stopped functioning earlier. And so it's necessary to replace it now. The maximum cost currently is around $25,000. We believe that we're able to procure it at a more favorable rate, utilizing existing sheriff's contracts, and so it should be a little bit less than that. But there's an anticipated cost of about $4,000 a year for annual maintenance on the machine too. This fingerprint reader rather is a critical operational and statutory tool. No juvenile dispositions can be processed until youth has been fingerprinted into the juvenile home, and every youth with an authorized petition must be fingerprinted. And so that is the request before you, is to authorize me as administrative controller to sign a requisition to purchase this immediately, so that way juveniles can be processed accordingly into the juvenile home. Happy to entertain any further questions.
Commissioner Gissler.
Thank you, Chair. Excuse me. How does this compare with the fingerprinting capability in the clerk's office? That's the only one I'm familiar with, and Meredith put it in place, I don't know, probably right after she became clerk, and it was less than that, but maybe this is something different that requires additional capabilities or whatever.
That's a great question. So Chair and Commissioner Gissler, that's a great question. I don't know if I can speak to that per se, but I do know that there are statutory requirements incumbent upon the Ninth Circuit Court to have this tool at the Gull Road Justice Complex. So I believe it would be an operational issue to have them to haul juveniles down here to this building and then haul them back. So
Point of order.
yeah.
We need to discuss. Apologize.
That's all right.
Come on, we'll wake up.
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Wheeler. Point of order is recognized. We need a motion to begin discussion. I should have recognized just an overview of the item and then entertained the motion. Who would like to?
If I may, Chair, I will make a motion. We purchase the fingerprinting device for the Gull Road courthouse.
We have a motion that has been provided by council. Would you please?
Yes, please. It contains some vital information that needs to be
Thank you.
part of the record. Thank you very much.
Yeah, get yourself in trouble if you don't.
I did, pushed it, didn't want to work. I move that we approve the emergency purchase of the replacement of the mandatory live scan printing machine located at the Gull Road Justice Complex, not to exceed $25,000, and that the county administrator, Dr. Kaplan, is authorized to execute the contract related therefore to be on behalf of the county. Sorry.
Support.
Motion is made by Vice Chair Pro Tem and supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Now we may have further discussion. Do you have more questions, Commissioner Gissler?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry I didn't turn my mic off. I'd just like to find out at some point in the future, Administrator, how is this different? And maybe it's the same thing they've had in the clerk's office for a few years. They just cost more now. I'll accept anything you want to tell me, including it's got more capability than the one in the clerk's office. But that's the one that if you need to get your fingerprints taken for concealed carry and things like that, it's at least acceptable in those terms. But it could have been upgraded in the interim. So thank you. No rush.
All right, Vice Chair.
I hate to speak for the clerk, but I guarantee you she's not going to want a long line of people from the juvenile home getting fingerprinted. Yeah, this is an up to 25 grand. I'm sure that we could probably get it. We got to trust our administrator to go out and find a good price. It's a statutory requirement, so I think that we're obligated to do it. And so I'm in support.
Anything further? All right, we have a motion, discussion. All those in favor of the purchase of the fingerprint equipment for the Gull Road Justice Center signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, thank you for expediting that. Hopefully that continues services as required at the Justice Center. All right, next we'll go to item 14. This is the second opportunity for public comment. Again, members can participate in person or virtually by calling the number previously stated. Is there anyone wishing to make public comment? Seeing none. Administrator, do we have anyone online? Thank you. All right, we will end public comment. We'll go to item 15, reports of officers, bodies, administrator, and controller. So I'll just share yesterday, I think it was, Commissioner Ray and I were able to attend the Blueprint for Peace Summit. It's been a few years since they held a public summit, just on the update of the work that's been occurring on the Blueprint for Peace. So it continues to be a robust effort. We saw data provided by the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety that violent crime rates are down, murder rates are down. And I know we're seeing those trends sort of happen across the country, but we did also see that locally our crime rates are down compared to 10 years ago as well. So we know we saw an uptick during the pandemic that's sort of leveled off, but we're on a very positive trajectory locally that we certainly would like to see continue. And I think at least, you know, from the presentation from KDPS, they feel it is, you know, no small task, the collaboration that's been happening around gun violence. And I'll lift up just as part of this, again, we've had discussion around the county-wide childcare millage, and this is an identified component of the Blueprint for Peace. So just to reorient the public and the board to that, it is a public health approach to addressing gun violence. So as we heard from KDPS, just enforcement or outreach, one or the other of those things were not having an impact on reducing violence. When those strategies are coupled together and we use a public health approach where you look at the systems in which the community exists, where there are shortfalls that drive people into economic stress, instability, which creates then home-based violence and community violence. And so one of those strategies is the child care millage, identifying that our local community is a child care desert, and that has both individual impacts for families with children, but also economic impacts on those families' ability to spend dollars in the local economy, to work in the local economy, to be reliable employees or students who can work to advance their own economic stability. So all of those things at play make it a target of the work that is happening. So that's just one of the 6 key focus areas. And it's one we'll have future discussion about how we can work to meaningfully tackle that. But the good news of it is that looking at it from a public health perspective, which is what our board challenged county government to do, when we do that, we are making a difference. And it's more than just statistics, but it is about individual people who lose their lives to gun violence and the families that are impacted. So I'm glad we've continued to be a part of that work. You know, Commissioner Ray remains deeply involved and goes ongoing training and so forth to deepen her skill set and the support she provides to community. So just an update from that. All right, I don't have anything further. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Some more good news, and I'd like to thank Cradle Kalamazoo and our own Health and Community Services Department. Our infant mortality rate in Kalamazoo County has dropped significantly. We're lower than anywhere else in the state of Michigan. And in the past 10 years, this is Commissioner Gisler, I know you asked this question a lot, and the disparity, although it's still there and we still have work to do, it is dropping as well. And I think it's a testament that what we have invested here locally in Cradle Kalamazoo, along with our infant mortality program, we're making a difference, and it's actually now safer or healthier to, I forgot the headline, but it was healthier to have a baby born in Kalamazoo County than anywhere else in Michigan. So it's a testament to the hard work that we're doing in Kalamazoo. So that's even more great news. It makes, I won't steal it from Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, but I almost did. With that, Gigi, it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, you got a half hour.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Vice Chair Pro Tem.
It's all right. I don't charge too much for infringing on my copyrights, etc. It's all good. It's Kalamazoo's a great place to live, work, and play. But with that said, I want to thank everybody here that's working hard to make Kalamazoo a great place to live, work, and play. We thank our department heads and our department, our personnel, our many employees, and all those men and women, both here and abroad, that protect us, and our men and women that are out on the front lines every day in law enforcement and firefighting and ambulances to help keep our community a safe place. If you see them, take a moment to thank them. It's a lot of work out there. It's stressful. It's been, it's rough. It's already only, we're just into the very infancy of our 3rd month, but have faith. Spring is only like it's the 20th, so about 17 days away. So spring will be here and we can go frolic outside. So if the weatherman lets us. So I know we're working diligently on the parking structure. I think we're going to have a update on that. The chair has been working on getting that, and our administration, and some of us are working on getting that parking structure we so badly need up and running. It's been a long time coming. I think we're getting close to the end of the line on getting that going. So, and we kind of need to take a serious look at our jail facility to make sure that we're taking care of those folks that we are charged to deal with there. I know there's some issues there, and I think they're being addressed. So keep up the good work. Thank you all for that, and have a safe week.
Thank you, Vice Chair Pro Tem. Administrator Catlin.
All right, thank you, Chair, Vice Chair Pro Tem, Commissioners, audience. I have several updates to share, but just 4 when I say several. One, I wanted to share an experience that actually Vice Chair Taylor and I went to. It was Western Michigan University's student dinner with delegates. And so we were served as delegates, and then we kind of met with the students. But that occurred on February 23rd. And it was a dialogue that was, I thought, substantive and engaging, particularly impressed with the students' knowledge of local and regional issues and their willingness to ask really thoughtful, and to be honest, it was at times it felt more like an inquisition and interrogation. It was kind of interesting, but regarding, concepts around housing, public safety, economic development, and governance. So I was really impressed. A lot of times I'd asked them, what year are you in college? Because you're very articulate and asking very challenging questions. So they're very deeply committed to Kalamazoo and the county in general. So one of the things that I thought the exchange underscored was value of building stronger institutional connections with WMU and the county. And so I actually had a dialogue with they call one of their student, the Western, they call it the student association. So one of their positions that they elect someone to is a executive officer of government relations. And in my experience in Brookings, South Dakota, actually, that's a small college town, South Dakota State University. They actually had a forum or an opportunity built into their committee of the whole or their regular meeting where students from the student association would actually present an update to the governing body. It was like anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. A lot of times it was less, but it kind of bridged that gap. And they do seem interested in doing that. And so I wanted to talk to board leadership about it to see if we can start building in maybe a bi-monthly update from the student association to build that connection. And they seem very interested in doing that. And they want to know obviously if the board was interested in it, I'm seeing some head nods. So we can, work with the board leadership on that endeavor later to get them built into some of our meetings, just to hear an update and kind of engage in a dialogue to build that connection. But they seem very interested in doing that. So that was a positive thing that came out of it, but super impressed with the students. WMU has top-notch, obviously a top-notch curriculum there. So that was really cool. In your folders, there was a 2025 year in review document that was shared. And so our communications team worked diligently to produce a 2-page 2025 year in review snapshot highlighting accomplishments across Kalamazoo County government. And while not an exhaustive list, the document captures many of the defining moments within 2025 and serves as an accessible public-facing communication tool. So some of the highlights that were shared, and again, not comprehensive, not exhaustive, but we spent $43.9 million in ARPA funding, marking 85.5% of funds obligated that was spent. So we're really close to being 100% spent. We secured a $23.3 million philanthropic award to support the Kalamazoo County Housing Framework. We launched and advanced construction at the landing place, moving from concept to operational readiness. We have erased $2.48 million in medical debt, benefiting more than 7,000 residents. So we thought that's just a really high point to highlight. Modernization initiatives, so statewide court e-filing implementation. We revamped purchasing policies, modernized the 2026 budget process. We also expanded environmental health, public health outreach, and household hazardous waste services, serving 11,600 residents, and just so much more. So really that flyer that we provided, and we'll be sharing that out with the public as well through social media and that sort of thing. It provides residents with a concise overview of our accomplishments and progress, reinforces transparency and accountability, and then highlights the breadth of services that we have delivered across various departments. So I want to commend the communications division for elevating our public messaging and presenting county accomplishments in a clear and digestible format. So we're really excited about that. As you know, I did share last week, I was out attending a conference with the Kalamazoo Community Foundation, the Racial Equity Builders Dialogue. And so that was very just heartwarming to me. It was a good opportunity focused on centered around really advancing Latin American cultural awareness and strengthening philanthropic investments across the Americas. And so the discussions really emphasize cross-sector collaboration between government and philanthropic agencies, community-informed funding strategies, and building sustainable equity-based partnerships. And so we're very excited about the work that the Kalamazoo Community Foundation will do in that endeavor. And then one of the final topics I'll talk about is an emergency management training that was shared via email. And so they're partnering, our emergency management team is partnering with the Michigan State Police Emergency Management Homeland Security Division to host emergency management training specifically designed for public officials. And so we're excited about that. The first training is April 1st, and then there's another opportunity April 15th. They're both from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And I believe the first session is at the Oshmo Fire Station. The second opportunity is at the Kalamazoo County Expo Center. And so review those materials if you would like to sign up for that. We'd love to host you. They also sent it out to all the township supervisors and just a myriad of public officials within, obviously, Kalamazoo County government, but the entire county. So I believe the list was like 200 and something people. So definitely sign up for it. If the training will cover emergency management fundamentals, so you have your ICS, your NIMS basics, and EOC operations, roles and responsibilities under Public Act 390, disaster declarations and assistance programs, the legal framework, including liability protections and emergency powers, and then also personal and community preparedness planning. So it'll be a really good, it gives you a gambit of information to equip you to better answer residents during times of emergencies and that sort of thing. So really looking forward to that training, and hosted by our emergency management office as well as the Michigan State Police. And that's all I have for you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator. Commissioner Kistler, sorry. Yes.
When I first got that invitation to those trainings, the first one is on April 1st, at the Oshtemo Fire Department. Well, for those of us in the boondocks in the other corner, that means you got to go near, to the fire department right there on West Main. And that's not where it is. It's on 6th Street. I'm not sure I've ever been there, but, I just wanted to throw that out. So anybody else that thinks the way I do, like, Oshtemo is along West Main, the fire department exists elsewhere. Thank you.
Vice Chair.
Yeah, I just completely agree. The WSA event was wonderful, and one of the suggestions that I got from one of the people that sat at my table was internships. Basically, I kind of floated the idea to them, and I know it's at Michigan State. They do it with Ingham County, where they follow around an elected official for 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is, and they get a course credit or something like that. But I think that would be something cool to explore as well, in partnership maybe with the city of Kalamazoo as well.
That's wonderful. Western's got that good political science department over there. It's good stuff. All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Administrator Catlin. Do you want to go first? I could go this way if you want.
Always starts on my side. I'm okay.
Okay.
Just want to echo the comments of Vice Chair Taylor. I was also excited to read the Cradles report that Black infant mortality is the lowest in Kalamazoo County since 1980, and we're the lowest overall in the state. So I think that's really exciting. I hope we continue to trend down in that direction. Other than that, I don't have anything. Thank you, but excited about that news.
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Wheeler.
Thank you, Chair. I think it was maybe the first or second year I was elected. Chair Streps and I went to dinner with delegates, and it was very, very fun. And I actually still talk to one of the students who's now graduated from dinner with delegates. So I couldn't go this year because I was working, but it's a very, very cool opportunity that I think that everyone should engage in. I'm very excited to continue my tour around the county tomorrow with the clerk's office. So I'll be spending the day with John and Sam and Meredith. So very excited, looking forward to that. And other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Morales.
We're trying to figure out where they're going. So I don't have much. Happy to hear about Cradle. Good work. It is Women's History Month, so shout out to all my sisters from all my other mothers doing the good Lord's work out here. Kalamazoo Valley is having a My Ace conference on March 30th. March 30th, and we are having that grand opening for our KV Circle Market. So inviting you all to come out and celebrate. My Ace is a conference that celebrates women. So it's going to be a very big event there. I think that's all I got. Oh, it's a great day to be a Bronco. I believe they're playing ball. Is that Ball State tonight? No fans in here? Yes, thank you. A great day to be a Bronco. Of course, we shine. And John, I take it that, Vice Chair, that you are going to take lead on these internships, and they're going to follow you around all day.
I could use one.
All right, Commissioner Gisler, I think you're up.
Mazer isn't here. Yes, I want to put ditto marks under the infant mortality data. It's a shame that there still seems to be a racial difference, but I don't know if the difference closed, but everything came down, and that's good. So something must be going on right. And I'll be more excited when the difference in mortality for Black babies is equal to that of white babies in Kalamazoo County. And I will share an off color a bit about the Broncos and their competition tonight with Ball State. My wife went to Ball State, and we referred to it in Indiana as Testicle Tech. And I want to remind everybody that with respect to the spending for childcare, that we're now talking about a millage possibility. Childcare definitely is something that can use some attention, but with the budget we've got to work with, yeah, you knew it was coming, didn't you, Tammy? I would encourage us to find someplace within the existing budget to pay for the childcare, and that means we need to prioritize. We can't be everything to everybody. We've got to find that money somewhere, and I don't want to see it come as another millage. Thank you.
Mr. DeLu.
That's usually followed up by his main motion doll or whatever we used to have. And you made a comment earlier about somebody thinking like you. Nobody thinks like you, John. Anyway. And plus I saw a Michigan State bus outside. I thought maybe they were in town for something with Western. I don't know. Just a couple things. Tonight at the first meeting and I've said this before, but I just want to appreciate the leadership in the administration, what goes on behind closed doors, because we come to these meetings and I feel much more comfortable with the work you guys do before we even get here. And obviously you guys spend a lot of time doing it, and I appreciate it. And also, since we have the judges here, I attended the first Veterans Treatment Court session. And, thanks to Judge Jones and Chief Judge Hemingway, these programs exist. And I tell you, they had two individuals who have struggled in the criminal justice system. But you can just tell with the support they're going to have through this treatment court. I don't know these guys. We've never seen them before, but you just got this feeling they're going to succeed. And it's with the help of this local veteran service office. I serve on the Veterans Board, and they're the most passionate people I serve with. And the people at the Veteran Service Office are just amazing. And they set up a whole team for these individuals, and it's going to work. And I just appreciate the court's doing that, and it's great for Kalamazoo. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's a big success and something that we shall be very proud of. So thank you for sharing. Counsel?
Yes, Madam Chair. I apologize. I wasn't sure if you put Commissioner Mazur's excuse on the record, that she's excused.
I had not heard
Okay, thank you.
Her son.
Thank you. So I had just not been in the loop, but I will recognize Commissioner Mazur as excused from tonight's meeting. Thank you, Counsel. Absolutely. With nothing else before us, we are now adjourned.